AMP in the house.
AMP, it's your world. We just live.
Enjoyable sports experience. We therefore ask you to refrain from any disruptive behavior, such as fighting, throwing objects, using improper language or gestures, entering the court, or interrupting play. Spectators engaging in such behavior are subject to ejection and possibly arrest. Please report any violations of these rules to the nearest usher, security, or arena staff member. Phoenix fans, we can't wait to see you at our next home game because everybody will get their own Knicks player bobblehead. A great way to show off their Knicks pride.
If you still want to be a part of this upcoming home game, please visit us online at the 16th floor available.
We want your time at the arena to be enjoyable and incident-free.
MP, what's up?
Chilling, man, chilling. Yo, you want to do a jersey swap after the game?
I don't know, man. I don't do that too much.
Oh, come on, man. It'll be fun. I know. You want to hang my jersey up in your trophy room?
You know what? If you win, I'll think about it. Be competitive. I like that. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Season's greetings and Merry Christmas to everyone joining us here at 2K Sports. It's time for a special presentation of the NBA on Christmas Day. I'm Brian Anderson with Stan Van Gundy and Hall of Famer Grant Hill. Allie LaForce will be reporting from the sidelines. Now the starting group for San Antonio. Sohan and Wemby are the bigs. Paul and Castle comprise the backcourt, and it's Vassell in at the small forward position. And for New York, Josh Hart is out there with Karl Anthony Towns. Then it's OG Anunoby, then it's Mikal Bridges, and it's Rain Man in at the one spot. Well, Grant, there's a lot to love about Christmas Day, not the least of which are the great NBA matchups we always get.
Oh, BA, we've seen some Christmas classics over the years, haven't we? Something about playing on this holiday brings out the best in players and teams.
And it's going to be the Spurs off the tip.
I think Steph Curry retired.
Now Paul. Ooh, lands soft on the front of the rim and drops in.
Yeah, and despite his relative lack of size, CP very crafty finishing inside.
Got 3 rings.
Bridges outside.
I wouldn't hurt me.
And the foul on Chris Paul.
Especially while your body's still
well,
not all beat up.
early foul for him. Needs to be more careful and not pick up a second one this quarter.
Towns a screen on Paul. Here's Rayman. Victor Wembanyama grabs a board.
I can't play that. That's just ass. I'll watch the game like that. I can't play like that.
Bridges against Paul. It's tipped. Rain Man, the pass to Towns. Oh, it's blocked by Wembanyama. And it's going to be out of bounds. New York will have another go. Here's Rain Man. Up top, Bridges. Hart from long range. And that's good. His first bucket of the game.
Nice pass by Bridges. Just keeping his options open out there.
Ball passes to Wembanyama. Foul on Josh Hart.
Ain't no damn foul.
No, they weren't done. You just they were both. They were different colors. They weren't the color done. Not done. Really? Don't get like 2 more minutes. Thank you. You the cheesesteak. You the cheesesteak. There's the moment we say, Lord, please don't drop our noodles. Or Mexicans. And quicksand. We call that guacamole. Cinco. Guacamole. Guacamole. Cinco. Oh. Wow. Thank you. I like it. Where can you go to practice that? Where can you go to practice that? Absolutely. And you'll stand up here and keep the business like he's calling me. I'm not putting water still in that fish. Did you hear about the guy who got his left side chopped off? He's all right. He's all right. He's all right. Okay. What's long, wide, is underneath and high. And high. Yes, mother is. Did you write something about it? What was that? Think about it on that. Okay. Okay. What do you call it? Did you write something about it? What was that? You think about the wrong neck. Okay. Okay. What do you call it? What do you call call a soulful. What do you call a soulful singing fish? Johnny Gill.
So you wasn't even crying, your mom still picks you up. Huh?
Calling my hands. My professor asked me. My professor asked me if I needed a grant. I say, I'm already one. I'm not even grant. I'm already one. A minute. Now one.
His first foul.
First team foul.
Bunch of white people.
And now just over a minute played here in the first.
Bunch of white people running down the hill.
Here's Wembanyama. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
All too easy for Wembanyama. He feels like no one can defend him inside.
Well, we have a chance to hear from Shams Charania. He's calling in right now. Shams, great to have you on, bud.
Well, guys, a big story this summer was Jalen Brunson signing a team-friendly extension, leaving an unprecedented amount of money on the table, but providing the Knicks with the opportunity to lock in this tight-knit core and contend in the East at the highest levels for years to come.
A team to be reckoned with. Shams, thank you for the report. The shot by Rain Man, no good.
Just terrible defense. I don't know how he missed that shot.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Tom Thibodeau gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. And when I brought up Chris Paul, Coach marveled at his leadership, saying he's a heck of a player and a natural-born leader. Few players in the history of the game have been able to command an offense and a locker room the way that CP has throughout his career. Coach has nothing but respect for the future Hall of Famer. B.A.?
Thank you for that, Allie. Here's Rain Man. Last game out, he had 38 points. And again, the Knicks missing.
Yeah, slow start for them offensively. 1 for 5. They need to be more patient and find a better look.
Wembanyama, pass to Sohan. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
A little raw skill-wise, but Sohan has that rare physical traits and a tremendous upside.
Knocked away. Stolen by Vassell.
Wait till I get on a new team chat.
And in the first quarter, about 3 minutes.
Hate that I picked
My professor asked me if I needed a grant. I say, I'm already one. I'm not even grant. I'm already one. A minute.
Minutes played. Pass to Sohan. A bunch of white people. A bunch of white people running down a hill. We call that an avalanche.
What do you say? Oh, you need to keep going. At first you don't succeed. Try again. Try again. Try again.
Here's Wembanyama. Shot clock at 5. Over Towns. The shot by Wembanyama, no good. Here's Rain Man. He's guarded by Paul. Here's Rain Man. He nails it, and we're tied.
And that's what they want to do. Get him open looks early.
Paul looking over the floor. Oh, swiped away. Left side, Anunoby. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
What a two-way play. Just tremendous.
Yeah, the steal was slick. The slam topped it off.
And that is why you want to run off turnovers. Get down the floor before the defense is set.
Vassell outside. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up. Grant, compared to some of the flashier scores, Devin Vassell has a more workmanlike approach.
Yeah, he can quietly drop a big game on you. He doesn't draw attention with stylish plays and big circus shots. He just grinds it out by finding his looks.
Robinson, he's checked in for New York.
Well, playing his role to perfection. Using his size to control the glass for his team.
Out of bounds, it'll go to the Knicks. And a chance to see the latest edition of the Power Rankings. Always fun to see where everyone in the league stands. Taking a look at San Antonio, they're knocked out of the top spot, taking a small tumble to number 2.
Seeing where the Knicks are, they've used the doubters to fuel their strong showing this season. Game after game, each guy seems to play with a big chip on his shoulder.
Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for San Antonio. Here's Bridges. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting. It's on Devin Vassell and Mikal Bridges. Still one of the better wing defenders in the league, Grant.
Yeah, he's so great at pestering a shooter. Good lateral movement and wingspan makes him hard to get around. He might not be the best in the league, but he is well above average.
And Greg Popovich has called timeout. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. And taking a look at our 2K leaderboard, the best ball distributors amongst point guards. Number 1, Chris Paul.
The way he's getting his guys going and working the ball around the floor, how could you ask for anything more? He's making a concerted effort to be as great of a teammate as he can be.
Knicks leading by 4. Takes the 3. They get it back. Out to the right wing. Rain Man, that's good. Rain Man's got 6.
So far, rebounding has been a focal point for them.
And so it's Paul who brings up the ball for the San Antonio Spurs. They're coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
It's always hard to get a win on the road, especially when you show zero energy on the defensive end.
Yeah, when you have a defensive showing this poorly, it's normally due to an overall lack of effort.
San Antonio with the ball after the basket by New York on the other end. To stop the run. And the rebound goes to the Knicks. And going against San Antonio, their first meeting of the year.
They should have steamrolled this club last year, but that's not how it
Shaking.
Wow. Their opponent is doing a tremendous job spacing the floor. And they're just one foul now away from the penalty.
All right, that's why Mama should have left you. It's mine.
If someone dies in the room, is it still?
It's all good.
What does Cinderella say to Prince Charming? You want to see if it fits her shoe? What? There's a tattoo looking like a person that used to be a skinny stud, but now it's fat. I see you later, Bella. I still want to hear it. Did it say Gemini on it? And you have a tramp stamp? Yeah, tramp stamp. That's a tramp stamp. I want to show y'all what mine is. Jesus. The son's going through airport security. So TSA asks if it has any luggage. The son says no, because I'm traveling light. Far. I'm traveling like, What did the pumpkin pie say during the fight? You want a piece of me? Yeah. You want some fries? See you later, man.
Thank you.
See you later, man.
You gave me about just the right amount.
I should love that. The pumpkin pie say during the fight. You want a piece of me? See you later, man.
Here.
See you later, man. One of the introverts condos always too small for him. Because he doesn't do well in tight spaces.
For automatic delivery. For 5% repeat.
I was two teams off at $1,400.
Because if a mosquito landed on your ball sack, how would you kill it?
Are you nuts out in the woods anyway?
Like, I don't know. Just. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So as you know, you always have one job. One of those pretty levels. And at the end, again, you go. I have a dog named Tax. And when I open the door, income tax. That's you? That's Father James. John T. Jones. Whether it's E40, like on the sandwiches. With the mayonnaise. I'm figuring this out. He was looking for food. What do pancakes and lace fronts have in common? Crispy edges. Because if I eat soul food, does that mean it tastes like beef? So excited to get lip filler. And now I've got to restart my celibacy. It wasn't working. Because have you ever seen before he's fighting the bear? Help the bear! And that bear's going to eat it. Because we saw that at parallel parking. If we weren't always lied to about how being 8 inches from the breast. If athletes get athletes, we'll do faster. Listen. Mistletoe. My dad warned me not to steal the kitchen utensils. But it's a whisk. I'm willing to take. A whole whisk. You call it? You call it a tie? Yeah. So. Yeah. AJ, that's Georgia. Good job. You are. All right, Jossie and Jojo. Come on, Jojo. She said, not this time. They ain't come to play. These are very good. All right, before we go, we're going to read some audience quotes that Chuck sent us. What do you tell someone with 2 black eyes? Nothing. They've been already told twice. My sister. Wow. Next time. What is JoJo's favorite band? P. I'll see myself out. That's a big road.
I don't know what you mean, but I love it. Oh, Joe's favorite bread
Is that tea? It's tea, like the drink. Job person.
Ain't that right, Joe?
Did you know that pupils are the last part to stop working when you die? They die late.
Oh, no, that would have got you. That would have got you great. That was actually a really, really good. That was very good. They die late. Y'all be eating. All right, thank y'all so much for joining us on this season of the Roundtable Game Show. We love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets for the live show. The tickets are in the description. February 1st in Atlanta. ATL, baby. Come to the round table. Join the round table. Come prepared and bring the
Carmex Lick Care sure has it all. Daily moisturizing? You betcha. Weather protection? Definitely. Big flavors in mini tubes.
Being light-skinned in that sense, sometimes you feel like you don't necessarily have a home. I'm trying to be with my people, but then it's like, oh, well, you're not really black enough.
Within the justice system, we're typically penalized more harshly than light-skinned people just on average.
In this case, you've never been close to
Yeah. Yeah. I don't feel comfortable being labeled by my skin tone. If you agree, please step forward. The reason I feel like I don't like being labeled is because I don't like when people say that light-skinned women are so, oh, you're submissive, you're this, because I know ultimately what they're trying to say when they say that. It's saying something and then also not saying something really harmful about darker-skinned women. And it upsets me. Number one, don't put me in a box. Right. And you put me in a box that also negatively impacts another group of women. And I don't like that. My opinion around the whole colorism issue in general is that we're black. So I don't want to be a light-skinned black woman. I am black. I'm Sabrina. I'm a black woman, and I'm a own woman, and I don't associate with the stereotypical light-skinned woman and what they do and what they portray. Right. So I'd rather just be considered a black woman, just like the darkest-skinned black woman as well. Do you think, in a sense like that, people can maybe think that you're saying, well, I don't see color? So that is kind of my opinion, and it is kind of like what white people say when they don't want to be racist, I don't see color. Mm-hmm. And my own family primarily are all dark-skinned. Right. So growing up, I didn't. I saw beautiful people. Mm-hmm. I saw my family. Mm-hmm. I saw my dark siblings, and that's just what it was. Yeah. Until recently, the conversation has really come up to the point where I'm starting to ask them, like, what was your experience? Mm-hmm. And they, too, say that they didn't have a negative experience for real. I literally see black people, I see white people, I see Mexican people, and that's what it is for me. Can we have the Sabria step forward?
Can I just say one thing to you? First off, I've dated a couple light-skinned girls. They know I said they were submissive. First off, the reason why I didn't step forward is because dark skin, like everybody started finding out, the science is starting to agree. Dark skin is where it started, baby. And the reason why I think that I'm okay with being called dark skin and why I love the fact that there are light skin is because we have to realize that all of these people came from this prototype. Like I look at these beautiful dark skinned people over here, and I always love the darkest people because they have no nothing. It's just pure perfection. And excuse me, this is not an extremist view, but we all know that dark is dominant and light is recessive. And I don't think that it's a negative thing to be called dark. I think the media wants us to think that, but I don't think it's a negative thing to be called dark for the originals, so it's great.
I acknowledge that we should not have to have these divisions and these terms. One term that illustrates that to me is brown skin. The black people who are kind of in the middle. How ridiculous does that sound when we're all variations of brown? You know what I'm saying? Right. However, I didn't step forward because I'm not offended by being called dark skin. I will say there is a dehumanization that does occur with this labeling, like for instance, on social media. a light skin, a dark skin. That drives me insane. Now, I just wanted to address just a couple things you said. First, I want to say I'm very glad that your family members have not felt the impact of colorism. I'm so happy to hear that. I wish that was the dominant reality for dark-skinned girls. Unfortunately, it is not. We have to remember colorism is not just social, it's systemic as well. Even if they haven't necessarily felt the way that dark skin is perceived in society, that doesn't mean that they may not one day feel that. I hope not.
I understand.
Yeah.
And one thing I think that adds to it, though, is how you were raised. My dark-skinned siblings are my step-siblings. So my mother is light-skinned. My mother never mentioned her color. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, some parents will, like, prep you for the conversation. It was just never a conversation.
We all got prepped. So you got no different.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. Even when I plan on having kids, I date a dark-skinned man.
Yeah.
Potentially, I can have a dark-skinned child.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go around just prepping them for the worst. I want them to just know that they're black and they're beautiful, whatever tone they come out.
I have to say, honestly, we're all black and all lives matter are the same to me. In the sense that both statements are true, but neither do anything to address the issue at hand, so they're meaningless. Yes, we're all black. However, some black people are further marginalized because they are dark skinned. And I understand what you're saying about not wanting to beat your children down with the idea of oppression, but not talking about it is not going to make it go away. My mother was extremely affirming to me as a dark-skinned little girl because she understood that if she didn't do it at home when I was a child and I get out into the world,
Exactly.
you know, we ain't in Kansas no more.
Completely understand. But it's also when I say we're all black, it's like if we were to get pulled over tomorrow, I'm black to a white man, to a white cop. What my point is more so is that we are dividing ourselves with this conversation as well. And I don't want that for us. I want us to just be on the same page so that way we can move forward in life.
My immediate reaction was no, solely because, like, I am a light-skinned person, you know what I'm saying? But then you kind of brought up how, like, what's tied to it are the stereotypes that come with being a light-skinned person or a dark-skinned person.
Right.
And those can be detrimental
Yeah.
to a light-skinned person or a dark-skinned person.
Yeah, right.
Do you believe that those stereotypes are majority true then?
Whether they're true or not is kind of irrelevant. The fact that they're detrimental to people, I think that's the problem itself.
So when I first heard the prompt, I think when I was younger and I was growing up, like being dark skinned was something I would like try to run away from because of the negativity surrounding that term. But like as I grow up now and I'm like living in a time where I see like models up, I'm like, wow, like these people be more confident in myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm about it. I also like it because I think it's for the black community that we're not alone. So I think it is good to be more diverse communities. On the other side, I do see how people get different and like ways to education from these on. So sometimes I'm like, no, I'm just black.
For me, my perspective is totally different. I was born in a town, and so for the rest of my the niggas and white, this is skin shades. I never knew such thing as colorism until I came to the United States. Like you said, you do black. It does not matter when it goes down. It could be the lightest one in the middle, it could be black down to it.
They're kind of like this opinion that like people can't experience colorism. Dating my current boyfriend, it's a dark skinned man. I was whitewashed immediately. I was bougie immediately.
You need to go to sleep.
I was uppity immediately, and this was before getting to know me.
I think it was second grade. I vividly remember I was on the playground and this guy had told me like your skin is blacker than dog shit. And that was like the first like time like I had been like, oh, so I am different from everyone. Most of the comments like I got about my color were almost always people within the black community, but then on top of that it was always boys. Sure, some girls maybe from time to time, but it was usually always like black guys, and that always confused me because I'm like, you probably have like a mom or a sister who looks like me. Like, how could you say that?
I relate to your story so much. Both my biological mom and dad are Ghanaian, so that's where I get my very darkness from. But my two brothers and sisters are alike because their mom is from Kenya. Their whole life was so different than mine, and I noticed in America, it was when we came, everyone was befriending my brother. But when, we'd have to be in circles and they have to hold our hands in second grade, all the kids would like hold me like this with their finger and then wipe themselves off. And all the things, they would come in and just say the worst things to me. And I'm in second grade. My brother gets me of this. So I was just so confused because, like you said, my whole head is thinking, wow, all of you guys, if you go back to our continent, really look like us. What is it? I was extremely confused. I had to say, I really dislike African Americans. I my cup of tea. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
I think already being like African, there's already kind of like divide between Africans and African Americans, but then with most of the bullying that I went through being perpetrated by African Americans, I just like really started to dislike them, and I was like, I don't want to be in their spaces. I don't care to.
And this is a side note. This is why I'm here, because you guys are educating me. I didn't know that it was African Americans I was talking shit. So it's like,
that's not necessarily all.
But that's all
because
also some parents are like, and that's what I was going to say too, because you guys are mentioning you guys are in second grade and stuff. Yeah. And it's like, even my niece already is like, I want straight hair. And it's like, where are you getting this from? Like,
but she's already. I was going to say that about the last.
No, well, I mean,
yes. Good girl. I became aware of colorism during childhood, early childhood.
Right.
And that, y'all, they was in second grade running around the playground. So they had a chant. If you're black, stay back. If you're brown, stay around. If you're light, you're just right. I remember hearing this on the playground from me being 6, 7 years old. I knew, okay, I don't have a problem with my skin tone, but society does.
And that's why I'm saying, like, where do they even get that from? Like, the parents, like, where are they getting this from?
That's what, yes, of course. So I have a sister, and she's your guys' beautiful complexion. And I remember when we were younger, we would put our arms together, and I'd go, ha-ha, I'm going to make it. And this one I was a lot lighter, too. I'm gonna fast forward again. I'm out in Europe doing my thing, music or whatever, and I go to my sister, and I'm like, Z, I'm sorry. I don't know, it just came out. I was like, Z, I'm always sorry that I did this, and I'm sorry that I never told you you were beautiful. I'm your brother. I need you here. Don't leave me. I'm going crazy. And at that moment, I realized I'm free from this colorism thing. The interesting thing about it is that in my own family, there are varying shades. I notice how sometimes that my brother, who is a little bit darker, would get treated versus how I might get treated. But then I also sometimes notice how my younger brother, who is a little bit more lighter skinned, would get treated compared to me or my older sister or whatever. There were girls that I liked, beautiful black girls growing up that I liked, that were like, oh, well, you're not maybe like as dark. You're not like that dude. Or people would look at you and be like, oh, you got all this education. Yeah, you're just a white kid. You don't talk like a black kid. I'm like, what does that even mean? Right? Because all of us are wanting to get opportunities to be more educated so we can do bigger things in the world. We should be aiming for that. So when I would get made fun of sometimes, some of the black girls I'd be trying to talk to, those experiences were even kind of turning me against my own people. You know what I mean? And so being light-skinned in that sense, sometimes you feel like you don't necessarily have a home because you're like, okay, I'm not trying to be white, but I got white people kind of like relating to me and give me a little pat on the back. But then I'm trying to be with my people, but then it's like, oh, well, you're not really black enough.
All right, can we have the disability step forward?
I don't feel like light-skinned people experience colorism. However, I do feel like there are experiences that light-skinned people can have that are negative. Because I've had people tell me, oh, you're not black, you're damn near white. It bothers me, but that's all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. I'm not going to say y'all are being colorist toward me because y'all are talking about my skin. It is annoying, but it's like, I feel like that's insulting for me to say, well, this is reverse colorism. Because none of anything that I'll ever go through will ever touch what I know y'all have gone through. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to say it's like offensive. It's just a bit reductive. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going to make me be insufferable. No. Right. But, I know we talked about earlier the opinion that light-skinned people don't experience colorism. For me, that's not an opinion. Light-skinned people can never share their experiences, especially when it comes to the invalidation of life. You understand? And y'all.
I see you and mom do nothing with
so you should have the space to discuss these experiences, especially if they traumatize you. I
I just want to say your experience doesn't have to be colorism to be valid.
I'm probably just going to pair it off with you two because I agree with you wholeheartedly. But I view isms the same. Like just how there is no reverse racism, there is no reverse colorism. Like we don't experience color. We experience prejudice based off of skin color, but it's not the same thing.
Related to color, right?
Yeah, I think
I agree with that. That's my experience. That's what I was saying earlier, that I know that colorism can't necessarily be placed on this, but there's the word.
And we've got a timeout called by Greg Popovich, and we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust.
Oh, I'm about to call this shit done.
Issues because I do feel like we're really mature when it comes to stuff when we're going that way.
Yeah.
Right? But then sometimes as we start stepping back a little bit closer to home, we gotta be like, oh, wait a minute, are you really one of those? Are you really with? And then it becomes